James Key is gone from McLaren. Big change. Technical director sacked by Zach Brown, most likely. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's both at the moment. I mean, if you look at the trajectory or anti trajectory, let's call it, of McLaren over the last 3 or 4 years, 2019 looked alright. 2020 looked pretty good. If you remember the first couple of races of the season in Austria, and Lando got his first podium there as well. And I was looking at McLaren at that stage in 2020 and thinking, these are the team to watch. They're going to bust the big three, or not bust them, but break into the big three, or be the next team to do that, basically. And if you look at now, they look like actually the last team on the grid who are going to break into that. And they've got two really good drivers as well. So it's not as if the drivers are letting the car down. It's massively the other way around. So in that sense, you look at James Key, 2020 was okay, 2020 was third, 2021 they finished fourth, 2022 they finished fifth, 2023 it looks like they're going to finish last. They won't realistically, they shouldn't, but it looks bad for 2023. So in that sense, yeah, I get it. But to me, is change gonna it maybe like long term change was needed, I would say. But for it's not like football. You don't get a new technical director bounce the way you do a new manager bounce in football or soccer. Um, it takes a lot of time for someone to come in. I mean, we've seen it already with Fred Vasseur. How I heard Nico Rosberg saying that it can take a year to 2 years for impact to be felt by a new team member in an important position. So if you're looking at it like that, for McLaren, it doesn't look brilliant. And for me, it all of this stems from Andreas Seidel leaving to go to Audi or Sauber or Alfa Romeo or whatever you want to call him at the moment. But he's moved over to help Audi come in, basically. And he was brilliant. And I really thought that him and Zach Brown had a nice thing going on, where Zach was like the macho marketing dude, and he was hyper entertaining and enthusiastic about everything. And Andreas Seidel was just so about the racing and fantastic and got the job done at the track. And that functioned really well. Andreas Seidel is now gone, which was the first big hole left for me. And David Sanchez is coming back. Is it going to work? I've got no idea. It better work for Zach Brown, because otherwise Zach kind of has to go for me, because the buck stops with him, as Christian Horner says at least fucking 40 million times on Drive to Survive. The buck stops with me. But he's not wrong, and at some point it just has to be on Zach's head. And Zach can't keep saying, we need to change this, we need to change this, we need to change this. And people within McLaren surely will start, even under him, will start to call for his head. Maybe Lando Norris, because he's got to be pretty unhappy with the way things are. The state of the car is not good and is not what he deserves after what he's proven to everyone over the last couple of years. And I don't know what's next for Lando. I don't see a move pre-2026 that's a better option, really, unless Alonso retires before then and maybe he can go to Aston, or if Lewis retires. But I don't see Lewis retiring before 2026 either. And then there's Audi, which are only Audi in 2026. So those are the three options for me, really. So I think the best thing you can do is stick around with McLaren, and who knows, maybe in 2025 they've got something. I can't see them next season bringing something that's going to change the game massively, to be honest, in terms of fighting for podiums or race wins. Maybe it'll be, if you remember the start of last season, they were very poor at the start of last season too, and they kind of brought that up, and they were fighting for something in the midfield anyway. So look, maybe the same thing happens this year. Maybe it's a blip. It seems a little bit worse than that to me, especially with the changes being made and just how negative they were at the start of the season themselves. It seems like they're acknowledging that, we're really after making shit of it here. But we'll see what happens, I suppose. What else can we do? Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look good for McLaren for me. Let me know what you think. Nice one for watching. See you next time.